Okay, hello everyone. Sorry. I am the author of Cold War II, a guide to what we can do, not a eulogy, published in 2020. Um, I just wanted to go over kind of like a book review of what obviously the book is about and what the issues are that are mentioned in this book. Basically, this book covers everything from current events to um, stuff that has been going on since the fall of globalism around the world and especially in America. Um, so, chapters basically focus on privatization, education, um, stuff related to work, families, and obviously some kind of future goal. So, there are many books about this out right now. If you check into, eBay, libraries, whatever, bookstores, there are books being published on, um, what is going on right now and the various leaders that are coming into power in different countries, not just Trump, Brazil, Hungary, so many countries that are having people like Trump and the Trumps that are out there. And they're talking about new ideas. But this book is, uh, you know, uh, different in a way that it gives us a solution as well. So it's just not, someone crying about, oh, we're this, we're that. It's about what we can do as well to, live in that post globalist uh, world, which is what we're getting to right now. So we talk about our money. We talk about how these, foreign missions, let's call them, CIA sponsored missions that happen in other countries. Trump has said multiple times that we are funding those, that American money is going towards those missions, and what it's doing to Americans here, and for example, the prison industry, the various international organizations that we again are funding, and just a look at what other countries are doing and why they're not funding these organizations, but instead they're funding their people, and they are happier than we are. I mean, that's no surprise. So just to read the back cover, the result of all these misinterpretations has been more tax money going toward programs that do not support the causes of young men lashing out. We now have the war on guns, war on drugs, war on crime, war on racism, and war on terror. There has been the creation of industries due to the misleading investigations. Saving the family, work, friends, sense of belonging is more important than stopping the drugs, terrorists, video games, and the alt right. So just apart from the book, again, this is a method that's being used in countries like Norway, Denmark. They're not fighting anything really. They're stopping things from happening in the first place, prevention. And that's why they have all these, relaxed rules and laws. I mean, 16 to be able to drink, that could like never happen in America because we have so many people under the influence. We have so many accidents. We have so many people just losing their lives. And so that's why we could never do that. But how are they doing it over there? Well, people don't need drugs. That's the first thing. That's the first thing the government invests in over there. That people don't need drugs in the beginning. So there's no point to stopping something or limiting something that people aren't even going to use in the first place, or having any type of laws on it. So, like, that's one particular thing that this book mentions is how to prevent and not fight. There's obviously my own experience is I did travel to Toronto in 2019. I witnessed some, disturbing events. They also have homeless people. They also have mentally disturbed homeless people over there. But again, they're still doing better than America. I mean, they're right above us. Talk about Muslims. We talk about different personalities, popular personalities, celebrities contributing to the globalist view, and just reading off the script, not caring about what the topic even is, and they're just doing it because companies can take advantage of them because of their name, their popularity, or maybe they're a scientist, former president. Um, they don't care. They just do whatever Hollywood does, and they get their word out there because people love them. And so that's another major thing that's contributing to these problems. People who are actually like somebodies in America are behaving in a way that's anti-American. I talk about our environment a lot. This chapter very important. People who grow up in just families that have major issues or don't have families, people who are traumatized, people who are witnessing very bad events that we are just, passing by, and we're not counting in how that event led to that future crime. Obviously, again, prisoners, why are they in prison? Is it because they just wanted to steal, or they just wanted to kill, or there's more to that happened before the crime. And again, no one's looking into this now. Some psychologists, particularly Gabor Mate, again mentioned in this book, is looking into trauma, just trauma studies, and people who have witnessed terrible things at ages that they weren't supposed to, and are carrying that along in their mind as they grow up and become adults. And they can't put it away. They can't just erase it from their mind, and they're living with it every day, and that's affecting other people because people who are disturbed cannot keep it to themselves. People who feel traumatized cannot hold it in. They will hurt other people, or they will hurt themselves. So our environment, that's very important. The coup culture I talk about, again, going back to those CIA missions. There is the comparison between the fall of communism and the fall of globalism. How I believe Trump is the Gorbachev of the era, and he is basically coming out against this really American ideology of globalism and viewing everything as global and less local. The drawings I did on myself. There's no. I didn't borrow from anywhere. Totally me. And there is a dedication to this. I dedicate this to the victims of globalism, people who were affected by the events, the loss of money, defunding, all these things that have been going on for 30 years now. Um, and I mean, basically, there's so much like this book out there. I'm sure you've read, and uh, I mean, they just need to, I mean, be studied more often, maybe advertised. Um, I talk about the need for faith. Now, I'm not talking about radical Christianity. I'm not even talking about a particular religion. I'm just talking about the need to believe in something that is bigger than we are. Now, I talk about India. Like, a lot of people in India are religious and they believe in something. It doesn't have to be Hinduism, it doesn't have to be Islam. There are so many diverse groups and faiths over there, and not too many people say that they don't believe in God. So it's not the religion that's important, it's the fact that they believe in something and they live for that, and that's how they are alive. I talk about various like the events, the shooting events that we had back to back during the Obama years. Um, the fact that there's one bad apple like in a bunch. Talking about police departments, like that's not acceptable. That kind of theory that one person is just causing all the like racism and violence and abuse towards American citizens. Well, where did that one person come from? How did they get into the system? Who approved this person? I mean, don't we have background checks? Don't they, study at the academy? Full research on this has been done. Um, Other things that stand out here really is hands-on learning. Again, in the education section, hands-on learning. People who are coming out of high school or college, and they're coming in with a piece of paper in their hands, and um, they don't know anything, and they're working jobs that are totally unrelated to what they studied, and they're just looking to make a living. They're not even working at what they love to do, and that's the sad part, is that people can't make money with what they love anymore. So that's a big issue. Hands-on learning, going into the environment outside the classroom, training teachers to be less like theoretical and more like hands-on. Like field trips are a big deal. They're not just like reasons to go have fun. They're actually like they could be a way for kids to step outside the classroom. Um, there's stuff about the criminal justice system. Again, big issue in America, affecting a lot of people, and it's just a full kind of grasp of what people who have special qualities, obviously get away with certain things, 3 years in prison versus 30 years. People who get covered by the media because they have this special name. People who have lawyers, have multiple lawyers, but they, force them into pleading guilty when in fact they're not, and there's more to what happened to that contributed them to do this crime. Um, People who are not elected and get into the criminal justice system. Again, voting is talked about in this book. Voting for judges um, at the Supreme Court level, other levels, instead of having politicians choose, these people who serve for life, and uh, a lot of things that have to, again, do with just the status quo. Just, I mean, this is how it's always been, so let's keep it that way, and also globalism. So major changes recommended in Cold War II, which is a reference to Cold War, to the original Cold War, and so this is Cold War II right now. And other things that stand out in this book, particularly, um, are the focus on dehumanization, people who are living in uh, camps, refugee centers, people who are at detention centers, reservations, okay, Palestine. These are people who are actually segregated, and they're living in poor conditions, and they are being invested in. There are companies who invest in building these places and making sure they are filled with people. And again, it's another type of industry. So again, Cold War II, published 2020. You can get it on eBay. It's by um, Still River Publishing, based in Rhode Island, and so it's kind of local um, publisher. Stillwater River Publications, and yeah, so you can get it for $24 on eBay, or the Stillwater River website, and just see what the era is, and um, hopefully find a solution to what is going on, maybe beyond the solutions Trump is putting forward for us. Thank you, and I hope you buy the book.